Bună ziua și bine ați venit la Creative Talks, o serie de dialoguri cu profesorii taberei de dans Creative Playground Intensiv, ce va avea loc în perioada 12-18 iulie 2021. Eu sunt Anastasia Grigore și l-am alături de mine pe Minhoca, profesor de capoeira. Minhoca, hi!
Hi.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you very much. Thank you to invite me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
This is hard to start, you know. It's very hard to talk about ourselves most of the time. So, well, I am a capoeira teacher I have been practicing capoeira for 29 years. Yeah, and not much to do. I have done only capoeira in my entire life. Of course, a little bit of everything, but capoeira is the main exercise that I do.
Where do you come from and when did you come from?
I'm Brazilian. I arrived in Romania 11 years ago by accident, but I love the place and I decided to stay.
It's a nice accident then.
Yeah.
What is movement to you?
How can we explain something so natural? Because it's so natural. Yeah. We are kids, we grow, everything with movements. Everything involves movement. When we talk about body movement for performance, that's something else. But movement, the tree can move. Yeah, if it's wind, it's moved. But body movement for performance, it's kind of special in a way of beauty. If you love it, if you love the body movement, you're not gonna worry so much about what people think about it because you're gonna do it well, you know? But the training, the exercise behind it, it makes the beauty for me. I think the beauty on the body movement is what I'm looking for always.
That's really nice. But how would you describe your body's movement?
Composed. I'm very composed. Not too much, not too less, but very composed. When I move, I empty my mind and let everything flow. Just simple like that.
Does it make sense to ask you about how your body feels moving?
I don't feel my body moving because I'm moved by feeling. So if a beautiful music, yeah, good music, it helps so much to move. So, and then I let it flow natural. Nothing is forced. Nothing is forced. So for me, when I'm watching someone with my speakers, I put a music that describes this person for me, and the person starts to talk, smile, you know, that is the gests also, and then this is a body movement, and this is beautiful.
Right, very poetic. What are the main ideas that you focus when you teach?
I believe that every single person has the movement sleeping inside, because let me just try to make it easier to everybody to understand my concept and my idea of it. You take a kid, 3 months old, you take this kid, throw him on the water, on the pool. What's gonna happen? Yeah, he's gonna swimming. But if you take a kid 6 years old and throw in the water, what's gonna happen? He's gonna drop. He cannot, because we are one of the only animals on the earth that forget. We forget our instincts, right? It's our instinct to move, to do it. And then if we forget it, someone have to wake it up. It's sleeping there, yeah? And then what I do is like, when I'm teaching, I focus on this in each of my students.
Going back to the roots.
Exactly, because it's there. It's there. we are hunters, we are runners, you know, we do everything. We can do anything. But I believe that this movement are sleeping there. And we need help to put this out. And what I do, I help my students to wake it up.
Tell us a little more, what is capoeira?
Well, capoeira, it's very complex to talk about capoeira because I have done this for such a long time. Everything in my life that I remember, capoeira is there. So it's very complex for me to explain how it is. In a very technical way, it's dance, it's music, it's fight, it's a form of exercise, it's a cultural manifestation. So we have all this. I like to tell my students that it's an art inside of art. Because it's a tree, yeah, and there is a lot of branches. And you can go for each direction you want. So capoeira is the main tree, and then the branch like dance, music, acrobatic, fighting, so whatever. And then you can use this in this direction. Capoeira gonna help everybody to do anything you want to do.
Can you explain us a little bit more about these branches? How do they come over time?
Sure. So it starts everything on the 6th century with the slavery in Brazil. So there was fighting for freedom, and they tried to hide this from the owners of the slaves. I think I can say like that. And when they came from Africa to Brazil, they didn't come only from, we call Africa as a continent, yeah, not exactly as a country. Yeah. So came African slaves, Africans from Nigeria, from Angola, from Mozambique. So when they met up, different manifestations. So, and then they start to mix up this to fight for freedom. They will use the religion, yeah, that they call it candomblé, in each part of Africa. And they will use also the fights that they have back then, like basula and ingolo, yeah, and they mix it up, everything, and hide it as a dance for working out, for training. So they was training, but they was looking, no, they are not doing anything wrong. They are just dancing, but wrong. They was training, they was teaching each other, like sharing the information to be strong enough to fight for freedom. And along the time, capoeira became more contemporary, yeah. But it depends so much from us that do capoeira. So I keep this essence of capoeira, the matriz, the roots of capoeira, because I believe that people can change, but art will be the same. Art's gonna be always the same. And if I change something that was already done, it's like I'm molesting it, so I'm doing something wrong. And now capoeira is everywhere. And along the time they start to put, if you look for on the pictures of the Bled, yeah, the French painter, he's had some slaves with instruments. They was putting these instruments after. It's come later, very late in capoeira. Before was only a manifestation, you know. Then came the music, and then along the time it comes more the acrobatic from the circles, because Brazilians came to Europe to make shows, like I did on the beginning, to make shows. People doesn't want to see the cultural manifestation. On the first moment, you want to see something wow, that impresses, spectacular, yeah. And then what we do is we start to do acrobatics, and then came this part of the circles to capoeira also. And then some capoeiristas become so technical because it gives a lot of power. I don't know how to explain. Only if you do, you understand, you realize that your power changed. And if along the time it becomes so strong that the guys become so confident that they would be fighters. And some of them went to MMA and start to fight. So all of this stuff together, but never losing the tree. Yeah, never losing the branch. So it's become a branch, but the roots is still the same. Capoeira is the main thing. Dance, music, because the dance also came as a, how can I explain? We have different cultural manifestations in Brazil. Jongo, Mingolo, I don't know, we don't have a translator for these names. A name is a name. So, Jongo, Ningolo, Puxada de Rede, Maculelê, Dança do Fogo, that we call it the Dance of the Fire. So, and this capoeira accept all of them as a form of resistance. They have to not let this become just, people forget it, and capoeira took it and took care of it. And now we practice all of them, the music, the percussion, the shows, everything inside of art. That's why I say it's art inside of art.
Yeah, right, that's very nice. That's very complex, actually. Are there more styles of capoeira?
Style, we have two, yeah? But we have forms. So this style we have the regional, yeah, that it's a little bit more acrobatic, up, more fighting. Sorry. And Angola, capoeira Angola, is more the traditional capoeira, yeah? Slowly on the floor with a lot of body movements. Yeah, it's beautiful. And now we have this contemporary capoeira that is not a style, it's a form of mixing two of them together and become more, as I say, after capoeira came to Europe, capoeira left Brazil, it's become a little bit different. Because in each country you go, you cannot teach capoeira the same. Yeah, it's impossible. If we go to Brazil now and you see the capoeira there, when you come here, you're gonna say, no, it's totally different. It's different, yeah. My students got shocked when they went with me. They saw it's like, no, it's totally different what we do. Because people, it depends so much of the personality. It's like your identity, you know? You're gonna show what you have. If you are good, you're gonna show good stuff. If you are bad, you're gonna show bad stuff. So it's like this.
That's nice. As a person who comes for the first time in capoeira, what are the steps in order for, let's say, become a professor?
Patient. Directly patient. It's take a lifetime. I'm practicing capoeira for 29 years. And when I sit next to my masters, or some masters that I invite to give workshop or seminar to my students, you know how you feel like a baby?
Yeah.
Next to your students, you feel so old. But when you see a person like doing this for 50 years, and then you look like, oh, you know, I sit on my mouth like, just enjoy. It's patient and practice, only this. Being constant is very important also.
Yeah. Who are these masters that inspire you? And what is...
The old generation, I think, yeah? Alive now that inspires me, I think few of them, like Mestre Cordeon, I like very much, yeah? Mestre Valdemar, that left already. I think these two is the biggest, you know. For the music, the musicality in capoeira of Mestre Valdemar just shows that his was centuries ahead of everybody. Because just now, right now, after so many years, we start to understand what he was talking on his musicality, you know. And Mestre Cordeon has this contemporary way to sing that I like very much. He's mix up instruments, and this is make it so beautiful.
Right. What are the advantages of capoeira for a person in general and for a dancer?
The challenge. It's hard to explain something that you have on your body as a domain. Yeah, it's my domain. So I step in, I know what to do. But when someone new come to capoeira and want to learn capoeira, it's something else. It's very complex. It's very hard to start. Like, for example, how you're gonna start to dance if you have 200 kilos. It's gonna be complex. You have to understand your body, not exactly lose weight. For capoeira, yeah, exactly. For capoeira, it's not so different. You have to understand your body, to challenge your body, to challenge your mind. We are not talking about only the dance in capoeira, the brains.
Yeah.
And then today, we're gonna train body protection. Yeah, you protect your body. How to escape from the push, how to escape from the kick. And then tomorrow, we're gonna work balance. Handstands, twist on the hands, turn upside down. On the next day, we're gonna work acrobatic. We're gonna jump, doing back flips, front flips, yeah. On the next day, come your teacher and say, we're gonna do music. And you have never done music before. And you start to look around and say like, I'm not gonna do that, I cannot do that. After a few years, you can jump, you can stand on your hands, you can play crazy instruments, you can sing, and you start, this is build a very big self-confidence in everybody. You're not gonna feel afraid of much. If I give the instrument of students that have training with me for 10 years, he's gonna develop something with that. He's gonna work out something. If I ask him to jump, he's gonna know how to jump, for sure. Yeah, so they step by step gonna help so much.
What's your favorite part when teaching capoeira?
My students. My students. It's everything for me. When I teach, again, I'm not teaching. Yeah, I'm waking up something. And you know, it's gonna take time. It takes a lot of time to imagine that you didn't sleep for 10 years and you fall asleep. You're gonna fall asleep so deep. And then comes someone and say like, you have to wake up. So like, oh. You got the idea, and that idea is very hard, but it's so beautiful to look to the student. And then, as you say, the first day he's badly moved, on the next day the body full of pain. No, I cannot do this anymore. And then suddenly they start to understand the idea, to wake up, and the body starts to do inconsciently, because it starts to move inconsciently, you know. From one day to the other. Of course, everybody has different time. I have my time to understand things. You have your time. But it's beautiful to see when the students do wake up.
Would you rather train by yourself or with a group?
It's not hard to answer this question. It's a very nice question. But it's not hard to answer. I prefer to training alone, always. When I'm training myself, yeah, I like to be in silence. I like when I move and I don't hear my feet touching on the floor with noise. You understand? For me, it's a form of meditation. When I stand upside down, and I challenge myself, how long can I stay there? Do you understand? It's difficult for me to do this in front of other people. But to train with other people, it's so important. You cannot build your expression if you don't look for someone older than you doing it. It's very hard to do it by yourself. And then what you do, you don't clean up your movement, because we need this. Take it as an open market. Yeah, obor. I go here, I take I take 2 oranges from here, apple from here, banana from here, tomatoes, and then I get home and I put everything together. Not always tastes good. Not always. Some stuff doesn't mix. But when you put your creativity to work, you can take the best of everything and build something. It's yours. Have your face, your identity, but so that both sides works. To train with group, very important, to take this expression, but to spend time with yourself and not get tired. Because sometimes, to spend time with yourself, it's scary.
A bit maybe, but yeah, it's a very important part in developing as a performer, as a mover, as a whatever.
Yeah, I think the mix between spending time with the groups of people doing stuff is very important, my point of view. But to stay alone, because there is nobody there to clap for you. Nobody. And nobody can be more critic than our own selves, with ourselves. We look to the mirror and say like, it's not good. Yeah. But you also start to build this sensibility of say like, Cheva, it looks like something. Yeah. It start to build something that it's also important to feel confident. Not only critic, but also confident.
When training in capoeira, can you choose to specialize in one of these branches that we've talked about? For example, you can only, let's say, train a little bit more in acrobatics, or say that, okay, I do a little more music, or how does it come all together as a package?
Very interesting question also. Look, I cannot tell you each part of capoeira I like the most, but I can tell you one that I hate the most at the moment. I don't like acrobatics anymore. When I was 25, 22, I was crazy for it, you joke. I want to show off, Yeah, I want to do my movements and show everybody what I can do. To listen to people, wow, you're amazing. Wow, yeah, it's crazy. Now, I'm going deep in other ways of capoeira. Yeah, the theory, the philosophy, to discover myself, because it's important for me. But students tend to do this on the beginning. So if you are a person that are more athletic, of course you want to fight, you want to jump. But if the person is a little bit old, because capoeira has everything, it's open for everybody. Yeah, from a kid 2 years old to a person 80, 90 years old. So it's open for a person that have 10 kilos, for a person that have 200 kilos. So it doesn't matter, Yeah. And then, of course, you're gonna choose on the beginning what is making you feel more confident. And you're gonna look like, oh, okay, I have skills for music. Why not? And then the person, I'm more good on the fight. I want to do fight. I want my good in acrobatic. Of course, capoeira gonna let you do this. Yeah, capoeira, again, it's free, and there's this branch that you go. I have students that, of course, they have high level in music, but they're not so good in acrobatics. And then I have the others. But the point is, when capoeira gonna ask you the question, yeah, what you gonna do? You train for 10 years, only acrobatic. But gonna be the day that capoeira gonna ask you, I need your music. And you don't have to give. What you gonna do? Do you understand the idea? I used to call the duck, the duck capoeirista that I like the most. The duck capoeiristas I like the most. Not the alpha, but the duck. Yeah. Alpha capoeirista choose one thing and do it very well. Perfect. So I have a student that he's jumped very well, very nice. But if I put an instrument on his hand, it's like the music is here, the rhythm, and he is in China. It's like two things that doesn't go together. Yeah. But the duck capoeirista is the best one. The duck, it's the what it can do. It swims.
Yeah.
Yeah? Not so well, but do it. It's run. Not so good, but do it. It's fly. Also not so well, but do you understand?
Yeah.
It's better for me, in my point of view, to do everything in a level that you're gonna get there, where you want to be, than to choose one thing and do only this. Why are you gonna do this if you have the possibility to take everything you can from it? You're gonna say like, just shake my hand, it's enough. If you can have the whole dance. Yeah, that's what I believe that it works. For example, for me, when I started doing capoeira, I was quite young. I didn't understand much what I was doing. I'm sorry to tell you, but if I tell you like, oh, I'm doing Afro dance because in 20 years I'm gonna be in Europe doing shows and I have to use it. I have no idea what I'm doing. I was like just doing it. Yeah. And then I started pushing more the acrobatic. Acrobatic gonna help me one day. The musicality. I sit in front of a guy for hours for him to show me how to slap a drum. And I was next to this guy every day, learning. When I got to Europe, I understood how poor the capoeiristas that was in Europe already was. They didn't have much of this, like, of course, exceptions. There was a lot of capoeiristas that was complete, amazing. And those guys, you could understand, their schools was always full, always having invitation for workshops, because you can see the person say like, this person know what to do, this know stuffs, yeah. But there is also these people that, okay, was very good acrobatic, but what else? And capoeira is not only this. So when you complete everything, it becomes perfect. I believe that the key is to be the duck.
Right, very beautiful said. Because except for developing as a mover, as a person, by knowing all of this, I think so also for the exams in capoeira, it's very important to have all of this, right?
Well, I normally don't do exams anymore, yeah, because who knows my students better than me. Before we used to do exams and it's make the students tense, sad, and no, but of course, but my exam is very important. From like my master looked to me and say like, even now my master come to me and say like, you had better correct this, it's not going well. I was like, why you didn't tell me this 20 years ago? But it's happened, it's normal. We cannot develop ourselves if we don't listen. And it's very important to do.
Really nice. Where can we find you?
I'm everywhere. I have a space now at Estrada Bradesco, número 8. And you can find also us on our page and website, Capoeira Alemã, Bucharest. You can find us, and everybody's much more than welcome to join our classes.
Right. Thank you very much, Minhoca. It was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.